All right, hello everyone. This is one of my favorite days of the year. It is what I call the first day of pea planting day. We're in Englehart here, so Northern Ontario. Other places might do it earlier than here and other places might do it later. But peas are one of those first things of the year you can put in because peas don't freeze when they die. We're talking about garden peas here, like the ones you take the shells out. You could also do snow peas at this time, those types of peas. So what I've done, I found a piece of garden. The first thing you need is your garden is to be dry enough that you can at least work in it. So that's why I plant in this garden here for a few of my early things, because this one tends to dry out for me a little bit earlier. So I already went ahead this morning and I threw a little bit of handfuls. I just kind of go wing it style. You'll learn that quickly from me. A lot of things are wing it. I fertilized with triple 15 fertilizer, then I rototilled it in this morning and that was what I do to get the ground ready. I took my garden hoe, I made little troughs, I call them, for the seed to go in. I got my pea seed here and I don't get too sophisticated about it. I try to plant a seed about every inch, but I don't really worry that much. I put them in a can, sprinkle them along. You can see I'm probably got way more than an inch, or more in the inch than I need to, but I'm not going back and fixing it. Pea seed is kind of cheap, so I don't worry about it a whole lot. I would normally do the whole row, and I go back with my hoe, and I just put a little bit of soil on top. If it wasn't going to rain, I would probably take the hoe, pack the rows down, but it's supposed to rain quite a bit this afternoon and tomorrow, so I'm just going to let nature do the packing for me. Saves me one step. So peas can go in early. They don't freeze when they don't die when they freeze. So I have planted these for 10 or more years like this. I don't cover them, I don't water them on a cold night. They've had -10s, they've had snow, they've had everything. I don't lose any sleep anymore about them. I plant this one row here of an earlier variety. That means this row will be ready earlier. Then I'm gonna do another row after the video is done of a later variety. So that row will be ready about a week later than these ones. Then in 2 weeks, I will plant another row and just continue on a few times until I forget about it for a while. My earliest peas, I do the most of them, and I tend to get the best peas out of them. Peas do well in the cool weather. That kind of ends the pea part, but last year I did the same. I do this video every year. Last year I did the same video, but once I was done the video, I took a little risky spot and I planted a little bit of beets in a row on the same day, which was, it was 2 days earlier, April 14th last year. So I did a 10-foot section of beets. Beets can also handle some cold. We don't usually think of them as being handled the same amount as peas. And those beets survived. I didn't cover them, I didn't do anything to them. They just lived there. So I'm gonna plant over here a little bit bigger section of beets and see if I can do it again. Never know, I might lose them, but in the end of the day, the beet seed is kind of cheap, and if I get some early beets. So then I'm gonna add one more section to it this year, because carrots can handle a little bit of frost too. So I'm gonna try a tiny little section of carrots and see what happens. Now remembering, I might lose the beets and I might lose the carrots. There's a good chance that'll happen, but it's fun to experiment a little. But the peas are a guaranteed thing. You can plant them right now, Northern Ontario, and they'll be fine. These peas that I plant today, I'll be eating these the beginning to mid-July. They're usually ready the same time as our strawberries are ready. If I sneak over here and grab a handful, and I have peas and strawberries for breakfast. I think that's all for today.